Oh, beautiful move. And here's another look.
Shaquille O'Neal is one of the greatest basketball players and personalities in the history of the NBA. He came into the league in a big way, and whether he was playing with the Orlando Magic, Los Angeles Lakers, Miami Heat, and so on, he came to play, and he always makes an impact. But both on the court and off of it, he was known to get a little chippy at times with players, as well as calling them out as a TV personality/commentator. Sure, some of it was good fun, but other times, it got personal. Allow us to show you 7 times Shaq disrespected NBA players. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Number 7. Kobe Bryant. Sadly, we do have to start off this list with his most famous beef, and that was with his former teammate in the late Kobe Bryant. Despite what people think, these two didn't start out playing together. Shaq was first a part of the Magic, but when things went sour there, he got traded to the Lakers to help a young Kobe Bryant bring the Lakers to the next level of awesome. Which is exactly what they did. After some standard growing pains, the two were the dominant duo in the NBA. Kobe put out shots on the outside, and Shaq was the big man posting up and making dunks. They won 3 NBA titles together in 4 seasons. And Shaq was the MVP of the league and the finals when that happened. And that's when Kobe got petty. You know it's true. He was the kind of guy who demanded that the spotlight be on him and all the big game talk be about him and not anyone else, even when it was someone legit like Shaq. The two got into a major internal war that couldn't be fixed, so Shaq was traded. But their battle continued on, and Shaq got more and more verbal and intense in his strikes against Kobe, including after he got his 4th ring, and Kobe struggled. He did a diss track stating, "Kobe couldn't do it without me," and asked him what his butt tastes like. For real. The two had it so heated that the last time they really talked was years before, when Shaq and Kobe won co-MVP at the NBA All-Star Game. After Kobe died, Shaq was one of the most heartbroken people because he knew then that their feud was pointless and that they should have made up, but they wouldn't get that opportunity. Number 6. JaVale McGee. Okay, now let's go to a bit more of a lighthearted beef. During his early days of being an NBA commentator on TNT, Shaq would go after various NBA players to try and get them to bring up their game. And one of the constant punching bags was that of JaVale McGee. Now, to be clear here, Shaq had a very good reason for going after JaVale, as he was constantly not living up to his potential, or flopping in order to try and get calls. That was all the motivation Shaq needed to go after him time and time again. Then, when he went to the Warriors and started playing well, Shaq backed off, as you would expect. But then he started making typical mistakes again, and so Shaq went after him, which led to McGee calling him out on Twitter, and Shaq going ape and dissing him to Kingdom Come, and even saying that he'd beat him down if JaVale didn't shut up. It was so bad that both Kevin Durant and Shaq's mom had to get involved in this. For real. She told him to stop, and he acknowledged that he won't ever say JaVale McGee's name again. Which, if you think about it, is still a diss. Just saying. Number 5. Yao Ming. Let's go back onto the court now for another very intense rivalry. When Shaq was in the league, especially in his prime, he was the most dominant big man on the planet. He was the boss and had the awards and rings to prove it. But then, the Houston Rockets drafted China player Yao Ming, who was bigger than Shaq ironically enough and was slated to be a worthy foe for him. Well, Shaq didn't take too kindly to that, not at all. And in fact, he was so mad at it, he started to call out Yao Ming both on the court and off to make sure that there was only one dominant center in the league. And that was him, no one else. Things got very intense every time they played. But it would be Yao who got the first backhand, if you will, as during the first game together, he blocked multiple shots from Shaq and even scored more points than him. Now yes, Shaq won the war because he is much more revered than Yao Ming. But this was a case where his antics honestly made him look like a fool. Number 4. Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert is widely praised as one of the best in the league in terms of defending. And in fact, he's a former Defensive Player of the Year. But a few years back, he was snubbed from the All-Star game and missed out on a huge amount of bonus money as a result. Everyone agreed he should have been on the team, and when Gobert found out he was snubbed, he cried on camera. Shaq didn't like this for one reason or another, and in an interview told Rudy, "There's no crying in basketball, Rudy. Man up. Put some icy hot on your face." Which was both funny and cold all at the same time. The feud died down, but then Gobert got a massive new contract worth $205 million. And Shaq didn't like that at all. He went onto a podcast and noted that Rudy should serve as an inspiration to little kids, because you can average 11 points in the NBA and get $200 million. Ouch. Then, he went onto his Instagram page and noted that he would have not only dunked on Gobert, which he put a picture up proving that fact, but that he would have gotten way better stats than him. Is that true? More than likely, but it was still a bit too harsh in the eyes of some. Number 3. Damian Lillard. This one is honestly really funny. You see, there have been times when NBA stars like Shaq have gone on to use their skills to do things like music. And in recent time, Damian Lillard did just that. And while on a podcast, he was asked about whether his rap skills were better than Shaq's, which he said it was. This got Shaq to do not just a response, but a rap-style diss track on Lillard, pointing out a lot of the flaws in his logic, his skills, and his rank in the NBA.
Yeah, right, weak ass bars, you ain't tight. So when you spit something, make sure you spit it right. Don't make an ass out of yourself, cause you're losing. The Diesel's known for bruising, what is you doing?
Lillard also fired back and called out Shaq's age, platinum status, and more. Who won the battle/war is obviously up to you, but this is something that is funny because, as we've shown, social media or the court is usually where NBA beefs get resolved. And yet, they did this in a rap battle. Number 2. Scottie Pippen. From one of the current great players of the league to one of the all-time great players, let's talk about Scottie Pippen versus Shaq. These two did play against each other in the latter parts of Scottie's career, and their beef wasn't from there per se. However, in 2015, Shaq posted an image of who he felt were the best Lakers and the best Bulls, 5v5, and said that he felt the Lakers would win by 50, and asked people to give their thoughts on this. Oh, Scottie had thoughts. Because instead of answering the question, he posted a pic of him and Michael Jordan, noting that, "We won 6 titles, twice what you claimed in LA. Ouch, and yet accurate." Shaq went on to the Dan Patrick Show and called Scottie Pippen a great player, but always under me. Pippen fired back with a reminder of the rings he got, to which Shaq fired back himself with a picture of Scottie's face on a fiddle, saying that he was only winning because of Jordan, and that he was second fiddle to him and second fiddle to me. Ouch. Number 1. Dwight Howard. The beef between Dwight Howard and Shaq is very well known for a simple reason. Dwight Howard was also drafted to the Orlando Magic, and many felt he would be the next Shaq. And for a time, he lived up to that potential, even taking the Magic to the NBA Finals like Shaq did. And they both lost there, for the record. And if you know what happened to Dwight in terms of his career, you'll know that he followed many of the same paths that Shaq had, including going from the Magic to the Lakers, being called Superman, and so on. Shaq refused to acknowledge his skills, even during his peak playing days. And when he got his second chance with the Lakers and won the title with them, Shaq was asked about the signing and he said, "I don't know him." So what do you think? What do you think of this look at Shaq and how he went and disrespected all sorts of players during his time on the court and his time as a commentator? Do you think that some of these beefs were legitimate at the time of when they happened? Do you think Shaq was just trying to go and make players realize their faults and then get better? Or was Shaq just trying to get into people's heads? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe and we'll see you next time on the channel.